Ever since I've gone deeper in inner dance and raw food, I can't look at days as days anymore. I found myself writing a whole lot more because that's how I keep track of whatever's happening to me every day. All right. Late last year, about November, December, I weighed about 200 pounds. Okay. And I was really sick. And I had GERD, that's gastroesophageal reflux disease. It's so painful to the point, do you know what that is? Well, that is really severe heartburn that you have to throw up. It feels like you're burning your stomach and burning your esophagus and burning your tongue in your mouth. And the pain is just so painful. I mean, it's just so intense right here that I always have to bring myself to the hospital. That was my life last year. So, my best friend invited me to a raw food workshop, and that's where it all started. So the more I became raw, it's not just the weight that went down, but all the diseases that I had. And then I started after a while, and then getting into inner dance, it made me realize that my body is not separate from everything else. Everything is just one whole being. I am one whole being. And so since April, that's the time that I went really raw food, as close to 100% as I can get. And then the weight went down. Before I even met or understood inner dance, I decided to go 100%. And it was inevitable not to find inner dance after that point. Because when you go 100%, automatically, you will search for the other half of it, because raw food to most people is really more of the physical, just health, just the body. But no, it's not. It's highly spiritual. And I was craving for it. And this is why I'm here now. And I remember the first few times that I've experienced inner dance, there were a lot of blockages here in the lower 3 chakras. And my inner dance before, I was literally purging, like purging in every different way. I used to yell a lot. My first inner dance is very intense, very angry. And then when I was in Maya, in Palawan, that's the time that I felt it loosening up one by one chakra after another as I go deeper with my journey in inner dance and raw food. And then I noticed I have a lot of blockages here, a lot of, family stuff, a lot of trauma, a lot, separations, divorces, name it, I had it, right? Right here. And I remember in Maya, there was one breakthrough, and Christian really helped me and guided me with the purgation. It was the most intense purgation ever. I was yelling, and maybe 2 mountains can hear me. I was just doing like that, and I couldn't stop. And that was the time that Christian aided me, because I was literally shaking. I was shaking, and I couldn't stop. It's like everything was just shooting up. If I don't scream, I'm just going to explode. That's just how the feeling was. And then afterwards, I felt that I was more aligned. And a lot more clearer. I received such a wonderful gift. It's such a huge gift. Inner dance and all of this, and this kind of consciousness and awareness that I have to share it. And which brings me here. I don't have a lot of confidence yet how I am going to do it. But with you guys, and after all this, I'm sure I will. And like I said, there's just so much, love from the beginning to the end. And at certain points of my own process, I needed people to guide me and help me through it. And I didn't have to search far and wide. They just arrived. Yeah. Thank you.
yesterday I went to walk, for a short walk up Mount Makiling, just a little bit now with a friend. And so she's very energetic. She's running up the hill, no? Paakyat na. Eh ako naman, I've been really like not eating a lot, you know, totally raw and a lot of smoothies and buko juice. So I was like, parang baka mahimatay ako, payat-payat ko na, tapos takbo siya ng takbo paakyat. Ako siguro mamaya mararamdaman ko na lang, bigla na lang akong mapapagsak. So I was expecting that, no, and going uphill. And there I'm watching Tony, like, there was so much sound, no, beautiful forest sounds, but all of a sudden I heard a really, really high-pitched sound in the back of my head. And then all of a sudden I could hear my breath. I was out of my body, like I was there, no, but I was watching myself walk. I was so focused. Everything was so vibrant in color. The sounds were really, really intense. All my senses were heightened. Everything, like my breath, no? I was walking uphill. And normally, I'm not very fit in that sense, no? I would normally be already hinahapo na and all of that. Pero I was watching my breath lang, and it was so slow, very controlled, no? And I didn't feel tired. I wasn't sweating. It was gliding uphill. I was literally gliding. Tapos, after a while, I was just tripping out now. I was like, dang, what's going on? This is cool, no? Like talking to my inner dialogue and stuff. And then it came to a point, I felt like there was some sort of like an invisible curtain or something ahead of me. And it started to feel kind of like it was accelerating. It was getting much more intense. And then as I stepped into that line of that curtain, bigla na lang, whoosh! And I was like, oh my God, this is so beautiful! And Tony was like, and she had no idea I was doing this the whole time. I was like so quiet, no? And she's like, oh, screaming, and then I was like, you know, totally tripping out in my little world. And the rush, man, the rush. It was just amazing, no? I was meditating and walking with my eyes wide open, and I just imagined how maybe the Buddha was walking around all over the place and was like that, in that state of bliss constantly, you know? And I'm still very energetic. For the last 2 days, I have hardly slept. I've had like 2 hours of sleep. I feel a lot. The emotions are very, very strong. I feel a lot of the energy. I feel things that are about to come, kind of like that, but not so sure what. But it's all good, no? And yeah, so it's just so much love and being light and happy and